The alarm screamed through the bridge of the horizon's edge before Captain Derek Stone could finish his coffee. Red warnings cascaded across every screen. His communications officer looked up, face pale. "Captain, we're being denied docking clearance at Panama Gate. All human vessels are." Derek's jaw tightened. The Panama Wormhole Gate was the fastest route back to Earth, cutting 3 weeks off their journey. "Get me station command." "They're not responding, sir, but I'm picking up a wideband transmission from Geneva. Earth's Trade Council just announced emergency tariffs on all Galactic Maritime Organization imports, effective immediately." The words hit like a shockwave. For decades, humanity had played by the GMO's rules, paying extortionate fees, accepting unfair trade terms, watching alien cartels bleed Earth's economy dry. Someone had finally said enough. "Sir, we've got company." His tactical officer's voice was tight. "GMO patrol cruisers forming a blockade pattern around the gate. They're broadcasting a warning. Any human vessel attempting passage will be fired upon." Derek pulled up the navigation display. Behind them, the Chinese-controlled jump stations that dotted this sector were all showing red. Closed to human traffic. They were trapped in a box with no way forward and no way back. "What about neutral ports?" Derek asked. "Port fees just tripled, Captain. Someone leaked our transponder codes. Every station within 2 jumps knows we're human. They're price gouging." Maya Brooks, his chief engineer, appeared in the doorway wiping grease from her hands. She'd been with Derek for 8 years, survived a dozen close calls. "I heard. We've got maybe 4 days of supplies left if we ration hard." Derek studied the star chart, his mind racing through impossible options. Then he saw it. A thin corridor marked in red on every official navigation database. The Red Sea Corridor, a lawless stretch of space between contested territories where pirates operated with impunity. No Navy patrols. No help. No mercy. "Maya, how's our FTL drive?" She frowned. "Functional, but I've been getting weird fluctuations in the containment field. Nothing critical yet." "Yet?" Derek repeated. He made his decision. "Plot a course through the Red Sea Corridor. We're going home the hard way." The bridge went silent. Everyone knew the stories. Ships entered the corridor and simply disappeared. The few that made it through arrived as floating wrecks, crews dead or missing. "Captain," his first officer started, but Derek cut him off. "The GMO wants to starve us out or force us to submit. I won't give them the satisfaction. Prep the crew. We leave in 30 minutes. The horizon's edge burned hard toward the corridor's entrance, a region of dense asteroid fields and sensor-disrupting radiation. Maya worked frantically in engineering, trying to stabilize the FTL readings that were growing increasingly erratic. Then she found it. A micro-sabotage device attached to the primary coolant line. Sophisticated enough to evade standard scans, it was set to trigger a cascade failure once they entered FTL. "Derek, we've got a saboteur on board," she reported over the comm. "GMO tech." Someone planted this before we left port. Derek's blood ran cold. If they jumped without finding it, the drive would have exploded, vaporizing the ship. "Can you remove it?" "Already done." "But Captain, the damage is spreading. The device leaked corrosive compounds into the system." "I can keep us running, but we're operating at maybe 60% efficiency." "Make it work, Maya. We don't have a choice." They crossed into the corridor 12 hours later. The first sign of trouble came fast. 3 raider ships dropped out of stealth, weapons hot, demanding they cut engines and prepare to be boarded. Derek had dealt with pirates before. Usually they wanted cargo, not bloodshed. But these raiders were different. Their communication was cold, professional. "This is GMO-sanctioned enforcement action. You violated trade law. Surrender your ship. Derek Day." The GMO was using pirates as proxies. Derek's tactical officer looked at him, waiting for orders. Against 3 warships, the horizon's edge had no chance in a straight fight. Full burn, evasive pattern delta. "Get us into that asteroid field," Derek ordered. They ran. Weapons fire lit up the darkness, plasma bolts scorching past the hull. Derek threaded the cargo ship through gaps that should have been impossible. Relying on instinct and decades of flying, one raider misjudged a turn and slammed into a tumbling rock, its hull rupturing in a brilliant flash, but the other, 2 were gaining. Maya's voice crackled over the comm. "Derek, I can't give you more speed. The drive is redlining. Then give me something else. Anything. Working on it." They limped deeper into the corridor, trailing plasma and venting atmosphere from a dozen hull breaches. Derek knew they couldn't outrun their pursuers forever. The asteroid field would thin out eventually, leaving them exposed. Then his sensor officer gasped. "Captain, I'm reading 9 more contacts ahead. They're forming up in a blockade pattern across the narrowest passage. 12 ships total, all armed, all coordinated. This wasn't random piracy. This was an execution." Derek opened ship-wide comms. "All hands, this is the captain. We're outnumbered and outgunned. The GMO thinks they can make an example of us, show every human ship what happens when Earth stands up for itself. I say we show them what happens when they corner desperate people who have nothing left to lose. We're not surrendering. We're not dying quiet. If we're going down, we're taking as many of these bastards with us as we can. Stone out." Maya appeared on his screen covered in burns from a coolant leak, eyes fierce. "I've got an idea. It's insane, but so is everything else we're doing. I can overload the FTL drive, create a massive electromagnetic pulse. It'll fry every unshielded system within 10 kilometers. Including ours," Derek said. "Including ours. But their ships are military grade, optimized for weapons and speed. Ours is a cargo hauler with redundant systems and heavy shielding. We might survive it, they probably won't. How long do you need? Give me 5 minutes once we're in range. And Derek, this will destroy the drive completely. No going back. Do it." The Horizon's Edge charged straight at the blockade. The pirates opened fire, confident in their overwhelming advantage. Derek rolled the ship, using cargo containers as improvised armor, letting them absorb hits meant for critical systems. "Maya, no!" the FTL drive shrieked, containment fields collapsing in a controlled catastrophe. Energy erupted outward in an invisible wave. 6 pirate ships went dark instantly, their systems fried, crews blinded and helpless. The others scattered, but 3 more collided in the chaos, hulls crumpling. The Horizon's Edge drifted, all power gone, emergency systems struggling to reboot. Through the viewport, Derek saw the pirate flagship recovering faster than expected, its superior shielding having protected its core systems. It was coming about, weapons charging for a killing blow. "Boarding parties!" someone shouted. Pirates had used the confusion to latch onto the hull. They were coming in through the cargo bay. Derek grabbed a plasma cutter from the emergency locker. Around him, his crew armed themselves with whatever they could find. These weren't soldiers. They were traders, mechanics, navigators. But they were also humans who'd been pushed too far. The pirates breached the inner airlock. Hand-to-hand fighting erupted in the narrow corridors. Derek fought beside his crew, the plasma cutter burning through armor and flesh. Maya appeared from engineering, swinging a heavy wrench, her face set in grim determination. They were losing. Slowly, inevitably, being pushed back toward the bridge. Derek's mind raced. There had to be something. Some last desperate move. Then he saw it. The pirate flagship, confident and cruel, was positioned directly ahead, and the Horizon's Edge, powerless and drifting, was still moving forward on momentum. "Everyone, get to the escape pods now!" Derek shouted. "Maya, can you give me manual helm control? You'll have to steer by venting atmosphere through damaged hull sections. It's not precise. I don't need precise. I need forward." Understanding dawned on Maya's face. "You're going to ram them. Get everyone off this ship. That's an order." His crew hesitated, then began fighting their way toward the pod bays. Maya grabbed Derek's arm. "Come with us. Someone needs to steer. Go, Maya." "That's an order from your captain." She looked at him for a long moment, then nodded and ran. Derek sealed himself on the bridge, manually venting atmosphere from starboard thrusters, nudging the dying ship toward the flagship. The pirates still aboard realized too late what was happening. They scrambled for their boarding craft, but Derek had already sealed the airlocks. The pirate captain's face appeared on the comm screen, furious and frightened. "You're insane. You'll kill yourself." "Yeah," Derek said calmly, "but I'll kill you first, and I'll make a hole big enough for my people to escape through. Worth it." He cut the connection and opened all remaining vents. The horizon's edge lurched forward, accelerating toward the flagship. Derek could see escape pods launching, his crew getting clear. Good. The impact came like the end of the world. Metal screamed. Hulls tore. Atmosphere exploded into space. Derek felt the bridge crumple around him, felt the emergency pod deploy automatically, wrapping him in protective foam as the ship died beneath him. Through the pod's tiny viewport, he saw the pirate flagship breaking apart, its spine shattered. The remaining enemy ships were fleeing, their coordinated assault shattered. Then he saw them, Earth warships, 3 destroyers burning hard toward the battlefield, their weapons hot. They'd been tracking the fighting, waiting for an opening. Derek's pod tumbled through debris, emergency beacons screaming. He watched the destroyers recover the escape pods, saw Maya's pod being pulled into a launch bay. She was alive. They were alive. His last thought before the rescue beam caught him was simple. Earth had gambled everything on standing up to the GMO's exploitation, and humanity had just proven that we don't back down. We don't submit. We fight. The trade war would escalate from here. There would be consequences, retaliation, maybe even open conflict. But every human ship and every port across the galaxy would hear the story of the horizon's edge. They'd know that when aliens pushed humans into a corner, humans pushed back harder. And they'd remember that Derek Stone and his crew chose to go down fighting rather than bow to intimidation. That was the human way. That had always been the human way. The rescue ship pulled him in, medics swarming his pod. Through the bulkhead he could hear cheering. Word was spreading fast. Earth's Navy was escorting every human vessel home, and the Trade Council was formally withdrawing from the GMO entirely. Humanity was going independent, and the galaxy would never push them around again.